One of the most easiest ways to make money is the systematic investment plan. And we get a lot of questions asking us, Jay, does sipping in mutual funds actually work? Over the last 20 years is probably one of the easiest ways. And in this video, I like to delve into some of the known advantages and also some of the unknown advantages of SIPs. We'll take multiple examples and see sort of where that takes us. A brief history of me. The most important part is the last line where doing all of the above, I've lost all my hair. But moving on to more important things. The a SIP is nothing but a tool to invest a certain amount of income every month into mutual funds. Of course, this investment could be across a whole bunch of opportunities, across an entire landscape that is open to you. In our current world of instant gratification, think of SIPs like the smartphone of investing. It's simple, tech enabled, and fits into any kind of lifestyle you choose with a ton of flexibility. You can literally start small but dream big. With budgets all over the place, the few steps are lightly treading into the investment world. Typically, an amount of 50% of savings is a good thumb rule to start off with. Think of it, when you purchase your new phone, you start adding your apps and Instagram and all these other games which are there. You'd add them one by one. Think of sips like that. You would first add a little bit, then add different products, and over time this will actually lead to significant financial growth, as the graph shows. Now what this effectively tells us is, by putting in 50K a month, every year grows by 10%, you could land up with a much more significant amount of money than you can imagine. So let's say if markets were to grow at 12% CAGR, you'd be with a 2.85x of all your investments. Clearly, an FD growing at 4%, and I've assumed, six and a half post tax, doesn't get you very far. So it's very important to look at SIPs and their benefits. First, obviously offers a good amount of convenience. We all love digital, right? Setting up SIPs is a very simple process. It's all online, although there are offline options which are also available. Monitoring the performance, inflows, outflows, topping up, etc., is literally with a click of a button. Well, maybe two or three, but that's the idea. It's one of the most hassle-free investments to begin with. A lot of us remember how we transitioned from analog to digital. This is much, much easier. It's still surprising to see a lot of people signing forms, writing checks every month. And I think it's time to take that plunge and move on to the digital if you're still in the analog world. It offers one of the easiest hands of investing processes. Think of it like automating your future. One setup, by maybe talking to your advisor or on your own, it literally runs on autopilot, investing a predetermined amount on your behalf that gets auto debited every month. Let's say you have a favorite day of the month, no issues, very easy to set up. Plus, you don't need to monitor it on a daily basis. Your funds are managed by investment veterans, and you can actually continue to focus on what matters to you. Everyone's talking about the tech wave and AI and machine learning. Well, your mutual funds are beginning to adapt to that as well. They're already leveraging them to make better choices and making sure your hard earned money is invested efficiently and intelligently. If anything, ChatGPT has shown us, if you're not using it, you should, how brutal it can be for market leaders to be sort of left behind and new technologies to take over. Adapting to these changing market conditions is essential, and almost all investment managers are looking to it. We need to make your money grow smarter with every passing day. Risk management, liquidity is paramount, right? With options to pause, top up any of your SIPs at any point in time, you can easily navigate volatility across time. Getting more units when markets are down and vice versa reduces the risk associated with making a lump sum or a bullet investment. In fact, staying with your SIPs and following the path ensures that there is no emotional decisions that you need to take from time to time like you would with maybe a direct stocks. Your aspirations are absolutely important, whether it's a home or a vacation or a fire number that you're chasing. I think your SIPs are like your very own sidekick. By consistently investing a portion of your income, you're working towards those objectives. You might not see it at the start, and that's probably the most difficult part. But each contribution and those ensuing returns gets you closer to your goalpost. Obviously, everyone prefers a second income, and this is one of those that you can get while sleeping. Your investment is actually working 24 by 7 while you're sleeping, playing, or even pursuing your hobbies. The companies that you've invested in are working 24 by 7. One might argue and say that, look, they are also sleeping, but now, you have these international funds, and literally when you're sleeping, they're working. And with time, this only gets more powerful. Even when you're not actively contributing after a certain amount of time. Of course, there are multiple ways to secure your future. Think of all the business ideas that you had, but either did not have the capital or the time to invest in. With this and SIPs, you can actually participate maybe in the hottest startup or even 100-year-old business. Of course, I don't think it's a get rich scheme fast. And don't fall for those. If someone comes to you with an investing idea that will double your money in a very short period of time and says, it's now or never, please say never. Let the world change around you with your sips at the center and being constant. One of the most overlooked aspects is the freedom and flexibility part of it. What COVID showed us, life is quite unpredictable. At any given point in time, you can adjust your sips to your circumstances. Got a great bonus? Increase your sips. Difficult times at work? Pause them for 6 months. Starting your startup and require some amount of initial investment? Stop your sips or even redeem them. Make your money work for you. Inflation is always around the corner. At an inflation of around 6%, it takes then less than 10 years for your money to lose around 50% of its value. That's 50%. And fighting inflation through prudent investing, growing it at a step above is not only necessary, but also that you do it sooner rather than later. Taxes and death are the only two certainties in life. And I think I have an idea how you can defer tax into infinity. Investing in general and via SIPs ensure that your money continues to grow either till your death or redemption. And that's very powerful because all the tax saved maybe versus maybe investing or trading and paying your long term and capital gains also continues to compound and itself becomes significant over time. So the question is, when are you going to start investing? Obviously, we have our very own disclaimer, which is very important. Investments in securities and markets are subject to risks. Read all the scheme related documents carefully before investing. The securities quoted, if any, are for illustration only and are not to be taken as any recommendations. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risk and read all scheme related documents carefully. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in comments. We are there on Instagram. Follow us at different places and look to have more such ideas in the future.